learning outcomes. After studying this module, we shall be able to define the content theories of motivation, learn about different content theories of motivation, apply the understanding of different motivation theories to enhance the contribution of the employees in different work situations. Now, the first topic of discussion is content theories of motivation. Theories that explain human behavior based on their needs are called content theories. Following are the content theories of motivation. First, Abraham Maslow's need hierarchy theory based on needs. Next, Clayton Alderfer's ERG theory based on needs. Next, McLean's learned need theory again based on needs. Frederick Herzberg two-factor theory based on factors. Douglas McGregor's theory X and theory Y based on personality. Now let us discuss each of these content theories in detail. First theory was given by Abraham Maslow's need hierarchy theory, which was based on needs. Abraham Maslow developed a general theory of motivation. He developed his theory of motivation based on different needs of human beings. He identified certain set of needs that human desires to have at various points of time. These needs move in a hierarchical model level by level. There were 5 different levels and every level has a certain need. Once that level is achieved, then those set of needs cease to be the motivating factor, and then we have to fulfill needs at the next level. Also, he further explained that these needs must be fulfilled in the correct sequence. One cannot jump to next level without fulfillment of previous level needs. That is, one cannot go to higher level needs without attaining lower level needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs are depicted with the help of pyramid as pyramid of 5 levels, which move from lower level needs to higher level needs up in the pyramid. He further explains that various levels are interdependent and are overlapping. That is, each higher level need emerges from the lower level need is completely satisfied. These needs are given by Maslow as shown in figure 5 below. The following are the needs as given by Maslow. First, basic physiological needs. These needs fall in the very first level of the pyramid. These are biological needs required for survival like food, air, water, etc. These are also called basic survival needs. The next are safety needs. Once physiological needs reasonably meet, next a person look for is protection from physical dangers and economic security. All these needs fall under safety and security needs. Next in the hierarchy is social needs. Man, as we know, is a social animal. He needs to interact with people and seeks association with people. Social needs refer to need for belonging, need for love and affection, etc. An organization can influence human behavior through supervision, its communication system, both formal and informal work groups. The next need in the hierarchy is esteem needs. Esteem needs can be subdivided into 2 parts. First, self-esteem and esteem of others. Self-esteem needs cover self-respect, self-confidence, knowledge and independence. Esteem of other means reputation, status and recognition. The next is the self-actualization needs. These needs are the needs that are highest order of needs. These needs arise when one person desires to bring out his or her full potential, self-development, being creative, etc. This need is psychological in nature. Now this theory has a critical appraisal. The theory given by Maslow is widely applicable in developing countries like India, where the basic lower level needs of workers are not satisfied. Maslow theory seems to be very simple when giving description about complex process of motivation, but it is criticized on the following grounds. The first is, it is not necessary that the needs given by Maslow follow the same sequence. Need recognition and fulfillment do not always have the specific sequence or hierarchy as described by Maslow. Second, needs are not only the determinant for influencing human behavior. Third, there is also no particular rule that once a need of particular level is fulfilled, it will stop to be a motivating factor for the individual. Fourth, the same kind of needs may not have same level of motivation on different individuals. Fifth, it is also wrong to presume that only one need can be satisfied at one time. Human behavior is guided by multiplicity of motives at any given point of time. The next topic of discussion is Herzberg two-factor theory. This theory of motivation is based on factors that operate on workforce. In late 50s, Frederick Herzberg started a study on a sample of approximately 200 engineers and accountants in United States. In this study, the persons were asked to describe the factors in there which made them happy and also to list out factors that made them unhappy. The result of the study led to very important findings. It was seen that employees felt good for the factors that were related to specific tasks they performed, and they felt bad because of absence of certain background factors at work. This led to a finding that there are different set factors that operate in a workforce. First are the motivation factors. Motivation factors are based on job context, and the second factors are hygiene factors that are based on job content. Now, what are motivation factors? Motivation factors refers to those factors which provide opportunities to employees to become more expert and handle more demanding assignments. They provide employees opportunities of growth and achievement and recognition. The presence of this led to high motivation among employees. The next is hygiene factors. Hygiene factors serve to prevent loss of money and efficiency. These factors were more potent to be dissatisfiers. They were also called maintenance factors, as it was seen that the presence of these factors didn't lead to motivation among employees, but their absence lead to dissatisfaction. So they were taken to be as factors desired to be present in order to support employee mental health. To maintain the employee, these factors didn't lead to any motivation. The basic crux of this theory was that one cannot achieve higher performance solely by giving high wages and having good work conditions. These factors were pointed out to be mere maintenance factors. This theory stressed on job enrichment as a source of motivation. This was a significant contribution as it helped managers to understand human behavior better. Now, the critical appraisal of Herzberg theory. Herzberg findings are based on a small sample of 200 engineers and accountants, and it is not a correct representative of general workforce. Next limitation was, his theory cannot be generalized as it failed to produce similar results later. Third limitation, though the theory holds good for people working at higher levels, it may not apply to workers at the operative levels. The next limitation was, it was difficult to categorize the factors as satisfiers or dissatisfiers. Also, there are factors that serve as dissatisfiers. For some, they may be motivators. Many researchers have found results opposite to Herzberg findings. They have shown that absence of motivators can be dissatisfying and presence of hygiene factors can motivate the employees to work better. The next theory in discussion is Douglas-McGregor theory X and theory Y. Douglas-McGregor was a very famous psychologist. He gave two sets of contrasting theories, theory X and theory Y, based on certain assumptions of human behavior. Under theory X, the basic assumptions were that employees inherently disliked their work and lacked ambition. They avoided responsibility and need to be directed. On the other hand, the employees under theory X were assumed to be lacking creativity and resistant change. Under theory X, employees were taken as a means of production. This theory represented old stereotype and authoritarian management style of motivation where carrot and stick approach to motivation was applied. But later on, it was seen that there was a rise in the standard of living of people. There was significant improvement in the level of literacy, and theory X didn't seem a valid explanation for all the employees. This led to development of theory Y. After theory X, McGregor developed an alternate theory Y of human behavior. This theory assumed that people do not inherently dislike their job. Work is a natural play if working conditions are conducive. People are internally motivated and need not to be guided. They have ambitions and have creativity. The people are self-motivated towards achievement of goals. The motivating approach for theory Y people was said to be democratic or participative style of leadership. Theory Y people were not merely motivated by money. These people had higher level of needs as propounded by Maslow. The two theories given by McGregor are never alone applicable in a strict manner. No man will either belong to theory X or theory Y completely. A person has the traits of both theories in different situations and at different point of times. Thus, this theory plays an important role in devising incentive schemes to motivate the employees. However, it can be deduced that theory X is more applicable to lower level or unskilled employees, and theory Y is more applicable to higher level of employees or educated and skilled workers. The next theory was given by Clayton Elderfors, which is known as ERG theory. This theory is based on needs. Clayton P. Elderfors gave ERG theory of motivation in 1969 in his article An Empirical Test of a New Theory of Human Need. The ERG theory attempted to improve upon Maslow's needs hierarchy by allowing more flexibility of movement between needs. Under this theory, Elderfors attempted to reduce the 5 of level of needs as given by Maslow and allow the order of the needs to vary by the individual. He also accepted and explained that different needs can be pursued simultaneously. There were 3 categories of needs were according to Elderfors. The first is the existent needs, physiological and safety needs, the most concrete of needs such as food, shelter and water. Second is relatedness needs, social relationships and external esteem, for example, involvement with family, friends and co-workers. The next is growth needs, internal esteem and self-actualization, the most abstract of needs as they do not involve physical aspects. For example, desire to be creative or productive. While Maslow's theory was interpreted as portraying that satisfied needs are no longer a motivation, Elderfors' ERG theory clearly states that all categories of needs can become more important as they are satisfied. Additionally, individuals may place greater emphasis on any single category as opposed to the rigid hierarchy of moving from one need to the next. The main difference between Maslow's need hierarchy and Elderfors' ERG theory is the order in which needs are met. Elderfors argued that needs are met simultaneously, and have no specific order, while Maslow's theory asserted that needs follow a proper flow and sequence from lower level to higher level. The following illustration depicts Alderfer's ERG theory. The next theory in discussion is McClelland's learned need theory. McClelland identified 3 types of motivation needs and developed his theory based on these needs. His theory described one styles of motivating or getting motivated by developing a 3 need model depending upon different level of needs within the individual. These 3 level of needs were: first, need for power, the desire to control others, to influence their behavior and to be responsible for others. The next need is for affiliation, the desire to establish and maintain friendly and warm relationships with others. The next need is the need for achievement, desire to do something better or more efficiently, to solve problems or to master complex tasks. McClelland's theory of needs is much simple to understand. It has more empirical support as compared to other theories of motivation. But this theory has less practical effect. The needs decided by McClelland are present at subconscious level of human being, and chances are that a person might not be aware of such needs. Owing to reason above, it is also difficult to measure and cater these needs by managers. Let us summarize what we have discussed so far. Motive is the desire that makes a man move. A manager can influence the behavior of employees by fulfilling these motives. 2 sets of theories of motivation are present: content theories and process theories. Content theories focus on individual needs. On the other hand, process theories focus on cognitive processes. Maslow's theory of motivation describes 5 levels of needs that flow in a sequence from lower level needs to higher order. Herzberg's theory is based on factors present at work. Hygiene factors are source of dissatisfaction and therefore should be properly addressed in order to reduce job satisfaction. Motivating factors, on the other hand, are related to job content and must be increased in order to increase job satisfaction. Theory X and Theory Y, as given by McGregor, points out 2 sets of assumptions of human behavior based on which a manager can apply different incentive schemes to motivate employees. Alderfer theory is one step improvement in Maslow's hierarchy theory. It reduces the number of levels from 5 to 3. Now the 3 factors are existing needs, related needs and growth needs. Lastly, McClelland theory, which is regarded as more empirical, has 3 level needs in its model: need for affiliation, need for power and need for achievement.